welcome back to my kitchen. I am happy you're here. So today is another dark and gloomy day in May, the very last day of May. You might not see this for a couple of weeks, but it's May today. So today I'm going to do something different. Different in what I'm cooking and different in how I do things. Typically, I do my meals when I'm saying, how much would this cost for you to buy it today? If you had to go out and buy all of the ingredients, what would the dish cost you? So a lot of times that makes my meals more expensive, even though 90% of my meals are under $10 for a large family. But in actuality, they're actually less than that because I buy in bulk. You buy a big pack of chicken, you buy the big thing of cheese, so it brings the cost down. So what I'm going to do today with what we're making, I'm going to give you the actual cost of what it actually cost me to make. The reason I never did that before was because I would see these videos that says, I fed my whole family for $1.99. Now that's impossible. Unless you're doing a $1 jar of sauce and a $1 jar of pasta, it's not going to happen. But what they do is they break it down so far to the minutia of like, I use this much flour. How much did that cost me? I'm not going to do that, but it always bothered me. Like, that's not what it really costs because I can't make that for $1.99. I can't make that for $2 because I need $20 to get to the two. So I'm going to do mine just a little bit differently than that. I am buying a bigger pack of chicken for this. I'm going to use 1 or 2 pieces. I don't really know how much I need just yet. So I'm going to tell you what it cost me to make it. Not, the only thing I would be breaking down is the cheese because I do have a big thing of cheese and the chicken. That's about it. But I'm not going to charge myself for half a can of corn and things like that because that's just ridiculous. But that's what we're going to do. So what are we making today after all of this rambling? Because it's so dark and gloomy out there, I'm feeling like something warm to eat, like a casserole or something like that. And I've been thinking about this dish for a little while, so I've never had it, but I sure do want to try it. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But it's a casserole dish. It's called barbecue chicken enchilada. So without further ado, let's get it, let's go. Let's see if those pots, come on. Okay, here we go. This is everything you're going to need for tonight's dinner. So we're going to start in the back with the chicken. The chicken I paid $9.63. I think there's 4 pieces in there. So that's what I'm going with. I took the $9.63 divided by 4. Depending on how many I need is going to be the price of that chicken. I got 2 pounds, 8 cups of Colby Jack cheese because that's how I buy it. So I only need about a cup or so of that. So I figured out what is the price per cup. Then we have black beans, sweet corn, red enchilada sauce, a 1/3 cup of barbecue sauce, and you need about 9 of the flour tortillas. I'm not breaking that down. There's 10 in the bag. That's what it is. First thing I'm going to do, because I'm in a hurry, normally I would stick it in the crock pot and let it do its thing all day long, but it's almost dinner time and the meat is raw. So I'm going to throw that in a little bit of water with some chicken bouillon and let it boil up, and then I'll come back when it's time to shred it. Okay, so here is, I cut it off, the price tag for the chicken. $9.63. I thought there was 4 pieces. There's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So I'm probably going to put about 2 pieces in there. I don't think I need the 2 pieces, but I could always freeze it. Alrighty, so I took out 2 pieces of chicken. Alright, so I'm going to take some chicken bouillon and add it into some water. I didn't measure, I just took a scoop. Let me give that a good mix. So I'm just going to add about 2 cups of water. That should do the trick. Spilt a little bit, hold on. And to this, I know it's kind of seasoned a little bit, but I want to add my go-tos. Some of my go-tos. Some onion powder, extra onion powder in there. Of course, extra garlic powder, because I love garlic. I don't know why, I just think it tastes good in almost everything. And just a little bit of pepper. So I'm just going to put that on the stove and let it boil up a little bit, and then come back when it's time to shred it. Okay, so I shredded up the chicken. That's all I got. Oh, I'm just kidding. I actually put it in a measuring cup to see how much chicken was there, because it seemed like a lot, and I don't really need all that chicken. But there's more. That's 2.5 cups. I still have what I think is about a whole chicken breast in there, because I cut them up into pieces, and there's still quite a bit. I don't know if you can see that, quite a bit in there. So I'm going to stop here. Well, I thought I had Mexican blend for Eric for the non-dairy version, but I didn't. He actually has very little cheese. So I just used what we have. This is the cheddar, the mozzarella, and then we just have, this is kind of like American, but that's what I used to make his. His is already done. It's made the same as ours, so there's no sense in making you watch me make it twice. So I had to take some, open up things and take things out, because I forget when I make his. A lot of times I have to take some out of ours. So since I have so much chicken, I'm just going to add more to the layers. The other one that weren't shredded, I put in the, I'm going to put it in the freezer once it's room temperature. So we're just going to dump that in there. To this, we're going to add the corn, and we're going to add the beans. I'm missing some of my beans, but we'll be okay. I had a little extra corn in the refrigerator from last night's dinner, so I threw a little extra corn in ours. He likes the black beans a lot. Those are rinsed, drained and rinsed. So, oh, that's a lot of corn. Oh, let me get some of that out of there. That looks like a lot. All right, well, if it's too much corn, we'll be all right. We'll make do. That's better. If I feel like I could add it back, I will. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the enchilada sauce and the barbecue sauce, and we're going to mix those together. Okay, so we're going to mix that around. Give that a good old mixing. Ooh, that's more than I thought it was going to make. So barbecue sauce, enchilada. Now here's the thing. I got this recipe off of Google somewhere. And I always try, remember to leave the link, and I always forget. It's from Recipe Runners. It doesn't say whether or not to mix this and the meat together. It actually doesn't say what to do with it. So I'm just going to mix it. I'm going to leave a tiny bit out. So for the layers, we could put a little sprinkle some on top. So I could do the best of both worlds. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the majority of this in here with our beans. Not with our beans, with our chicken. It just seems like it should be going in here, you know? Oh. thought I saw something yucky in there. Like that. When I see those little veins in there, I take them out. All right, so I'm going to put the majority of this in here real quick. I still have a little extra over here that I saved from Eric's. And if you're new here, Eric is my grandson who is severely allergic to dairy and a bunch of other things, but mainly dairy. So I always have to make his stuff separate from ours. So I'm going to put about 3/4 of this in here. Give it a mix. That's looking good. Looks like I can eat it right out of the bowl. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Just a skosh. That's a skosh. And then I'm going to take what I reserved this there, and as I make the layers, I'm going to add it to the top of that layer. All right, let me get out the cheese out of the Frigidator, spray my pan, and we're going to get to getting. I sprayed the pan, and you're going to put 2 shells down to cover the bottom. You're going to take 1/3 of your mixture. Let me get something to scoop that out with. So I'm going to take about 1/3-ish, whatever I think 1/3 is. It doesn't want to go in my little tiny cup here. Try another one. Okay, that's about 1/3. I kind of eyeballed it, but it'll be what it be. One more. All right, then we're going to spread that around. Probably could have added the rest of that quart in there after I took it out and rethinking that. Because what am I going to do with that little bit of quart? Nothing, right? I mean, it's a lot of corn in there, but what the heck. All right. Back at the farm. So, what we're going to do now is I'm going to take some of that reserved sauce. Let me pour Eric's in here with ours. Since he didn't use it all. Mix it together. I did add a little bit of water to this, guys. I don't know if I mentioned that. I do it all the time. It doesn't matter at all to the taste if you water it down a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to add some of this over top of it. Just because it didn't say what to do with it. Oops. So, we're going to go for it. Probably could have put a little bit more down. I'm just going a little stingy on the first layer because usually I go stingy on the last layer. Okay. Then we're going to add some cheese to it. It doesn't say to add a lot, so I'm gonna eyeball again. Just gonna put a little bit down. I don't want to put too much. Just enough. Oops! Just threw the cheese on the floor. Just enough to cover it. Okay. And we're gonna repeat. All right, so I divided it in half in my bowl. I probably could have went a little bit more on the chicken and I didn't, but that's all right. It's just me and the kids, so no grown-ups today. All right. More cheese. And I'm really not going heavy at all. It's like a palm and a half full. I'll show you how much I'm taking. All right, so I'm gonna do the next layer real quick. I feel like I'm missing places. Okay. Last one. The recipe actually says to use 9 tortilla shells. I don't know what you're doing with that unless you're rolling them, but it did not. This is the casserole. It's not a roly one. Alrighty. Last but not least, the final roll, you're gonna top with some more cheese. And some more of the juice. How are you supposed to do it? I don't know, but this is how I'm doing it. If I did it in a smaller one, it would be much deeper. It said it at 8 by 8, and maybe that's why my layers are thinner, because I went with the bigger dish. All right, that's the end of that. I'm going to add a little bit more cheese on it. And we're done. This is a very, very easy dinner. I'm going to go a little heavier on the cheese on top. I wish I had enough for one more layer, but I don't. I have enough chicken. I don't have enough everything else. All right. We're going to cover that up, and we're going to put that in the oven for about 15 minutes till it's all baked and yummy. All right, so that's going in the oven, 375 for about 20 minutes. And there goes Eric's. Look how yummy that looks. His cheese melted up pretty good this time. All right, let me get ours out of the oven now. And there we go. That is done. I'm going to meet you at the table. All righty, there's my plate. It's very yellow, I know, but I can't wait to eat it. I am hungry. I'm going to put a little dollop of sour cream on it, just for grins. We're at the table. I got a massive plate, and so does he. I don't know if you can see it, but it's massive. I got a little bit of sour cream just to see what it tastes like. You ready to do the thing? Mm-hmm. We're going to do the thing. Got a little corner ready for myself. It's a big bite I got.
Oh, my corner's still stuck. I'll just take this one.
Yeah, take that one there. Ready? Mm-hmm. Go. Cheese in my mouth. What do you think?
That's amazing.
I really like it. It's not spicy. I use mild. So if you like spicy, you might want to amp it up a little bit.
That's amazing.
Yeah. This was supposed to be made with corn tortillas. I used flour. I guess you can use whatever. I'm going to try a little bit with sour cream. I'm not a sour cream fan, but I'm going to give it a go. He didn't want any sour cream. Oh, it's hot, steamy. That's a big old bite, boy. All right, here we go. I don't like it with sour cream. I'm gonna be flat out honest. I did not like that taste at all. Plain is the way to go, in my opinion.
I love it.
Love it? All right, well, let me get the others fed. We'll see what they think about it, and we'll see you at the wrap-up. Bye-bye. Dinner's over. How do we do? Boom! That's all that's left. However, there really isn't leftovers because that's for my Trey baby. He said he's coming home, put him something up, and he's going to eat it. So I'll let you know what he thought about it after he eats his. So let's see what the kids thought about it. I'm going to start with Aiden today. Aiden, what'd you think about dinner?
It was amazing.
Amazing. Tyler?
It was great that I'm eating Eric's. It was fantastic.
Yeah, he ate Eric's too, which has the non-dairy cheese. Eric, what'd you think?
It was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, I think you did too. Nick, what'd you think about dinner?
This was my new favorite.
Your new favorite. Ah, little Miss Yaya.
Anything to have to do with enchiladas is always good.
And chicken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Me, I enjoyed it. I think it was supposed to be made with corn tortillas, but didn't make a difference to us. It was very, very good. I really, really enjoyed it. The barbecue sauce mixed with the enchilada sauce was really good. So there you have it. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. Leave me a comment either way. See you later. Bye.